Mr. Scott, let me start with you. You represent the largest association of PBM companies, I think. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I believe the only.
The largest and only. Perfect. Now, just help me understand what it is your business is supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be making drugs cheaper for patients. Is that basically right?
We're supposed to help employers and plan sponsors administer benefits at a more affordable point for the consumers.
Okay, more affordable for consumers. That's patients. So you're supposed
Yes,
to be making drug. Would you say that you're succeeding?
We've had success in managing the net cost of drugs across most categories of medications, and yes, in large part, but we have the challenge of ever-escalating drug company list prices to work against.
Okay, let me translate that for you. I think the answer you're looking for is no. You're not succeeding at all. Look, let's look at some data. This data shows the percentage that Americans pay more than other countries for brand name drugs. In Canada, we pay 324% more than Canadians pay, 445% more than France, and so on. On average, all together, we pay 422% more than all of these other countries. Now, either you're the worst negotiators in the history of the world, or something's wrong with your business model. Which is it?
Those, if I may, Senator, those are comparisons of list prices. Drug companies alone, as we talked about earlier, set the list price. The PBM is negotiating down the net cost.
Look, this consumers are. You're not telling me that consumers aren't paying more in the United States than they are overseas.
Hello, viewers. Welcome back to the channel. If you missed out on the last episode, do well to check it out. It's time we talk about the biggest ripoff happening in America today. And no, I'm not talking about the IRS or another woke university brainwashing our kids. I'm talking about the out-of-control corporate cartel that's bleeding American families dry, while getting filthy rich doing it. Senator Josh Hawley just laid it all out in Congress. He took the fight straight to the PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers, and let me tell you, it was a firestorm, and I stand with him 100%. Patients are getting screwed. Missourians are getting screwed. You're getting rich. You hear that? That's the sound of truth echoing through the halls of power. Finally, someone has the guts to say what the rest of us have been screaming for years. Let me break it down for you in plain English, folks. PBMs are supposed to make drugs cheaper for patients. That's their so-called job. But instead, they're making drugs unaffordable while stuffing billions into their pockets. Senator Hawley showed that Americans are paying 422% more for brand-name drugs than folks in France, Canada, and the rest of the world. 422%. Let me ask you, is that American capitalism at work? Number. That's globalist cronyism.
Are you?
I think the data would tell us that they are exposed to higher price points. And then it comes to an issue of benefit design. The plan decides what your copay
is. And the benefit, here's the benefit design. The design of the plan benefits the insurance companies and you. It does not benefit the patients. Patients are getting screwed, if I may. We are paying 2, 3, 4 times more for drugs. People in my state can't afford insulin. They can't afford the most basic drugs. That's when they have plans that are managed by you. And you guys are getting rich off of it. I mean, absolutely filthy rich. The FTC's report, so this is the government report now, found that the top 3 PBM companies generated $7.3 billion in profits between 2017 and 2022. $7.3 billion. That's a lot of money. Why is it that nobody can afford their drugs in this country, but you're making $7.3 billion? That's more than the revenue of some nations.
If I may, 2 points. One, you're not wrong that we need more competition among drug companies. The patent reforms that you all have advanced in this committee, the more we can have competition, we can leverage that to address that cost challenge that we have.
I'm glad you say we need competition,
and
because
second,
don't you think the competition we really need is to break up this alliance between insurance companies and PBMs?
No, sir.
The biggest 3 PBMs are owned by the biggest insurance companies. You're like one huge, giant pharma industry, a giant pharma series of monopolists, right? Why is it a good idea for the biggest PBMs to be owned by the biggest insurers, and now you're buying up pharmacies as well? Why should we allow that? Why should insurance companies, PBMs, also own pharmacies?
So a couple of...
How is that good for patients?
It's good for patients and for plans because it's creating optionality in the market.
It's creating optionality. In the state of Missouri, just last year, we lost 73 independent pharmacies across my state in 19 different counties. Do you know that 2 entire counties in the state of Missouri now have, wait for it, 0 pharmacies? 0. Now, you are making $7.3 billion, you and the companies that you represent, and yet 2 whole counties in the state of Missouri have no pharmacies, 73 closed last year. Why shouldn't we be breaking you guys up? I mean, this looks like classic monopolist behavior. The patients are getting screwed, Missourians are getting screwed, you're getting rich.
Respectfully, Senator, you keep citing a gross revenue number of the drug, every dollar spent on prescription
You're not making,
drugs.
you don't have profits?
Profits are in the low single digits on
Your
average
profits
for
are
our
not
industry.
better than they've ever been?
I don't know on the trend over the years.
Yes, you
but
do.
it-
You know
the
exactly.
low-
It
the
is
low-
all laid out in the FTC report. You absolutely know the answer. Your profits have increased and increased and increased, and now you are buying up pharmacies, and you're buying up pharmacies and you're putting independent pharmacies out of business, and you're doing it deliberately because you are giving special rebates and lower costs to the pharmacies that you own, and you are directing patients to the pharmacies that you own, such that if they don't go to a pharmacy that you own, they have to pay higher costs, they have to pay out-of-network costs, right? You're nodding your head, Dr. McGunn. You've lived this, right?
I have lived this. I live it every day. Yes.
That's a rigged game being run by bureaucrats and monopolists, while working families suffer. Between 2017 and 2022, the top 3 PBMs made $7.3 billion in profits. Not revenue, profits. That's more than the GDP of some countries. Meanwhile, your neighbor can't afford insulin. Your mom has to skip pills to pay rent. These PBMs are in bed with big insurance, and they've got their greasy hands in every part of the healthcare system. They negotiate rebates with drug companies, they own the insurance plans, and now they're buying up the pharmacies too. You see what's happening here? This isn't competition. This is a monopoly. This is Amazon-style, Wall Street-funded consolidation, but with your life-saving medicine on the line. Hawley told the hard truth. In Missouri, 73 independent pharmacies closed last year. 2 counties now have 0 pharmacies. Let me repeat that for the DC elite who sip their lattes and ride their taxpayer-funded healthcare plans. 0 pharmacies. That's not just inconvenient. That's dangerous. That's immoral. And it's the direct result of PBMs steering patients to the pharmacies they own, offering sweetheart deals to themselves while driving the little guys out of business. This isn't the free market. This is corporate tyranny. And it's killing our hometowns. This is about more than prescription drugs. It's about freedom. It's about fairness. It's about whether our government stands with Big Pharma and Wall Street or with the working-class patriots who built this country. Senator Hawley gets it. He's not afraid to say what every conservative, red-blooded American knows. Break up the monopolies, drain the swamp, and put America first. When 3 PBMs control 80% of the market, that's not competition. That's a cartel. And we don't negotiate with cartels. We break them up. So here's what we need to do, folks. Demand Congress pass a law banning PBMs from owning pharmacies. If they can't play fair, they shouldn't play at all. Support leaders like Josh Hawley, who actually fight for the American people, not corporate donors. And let's wake up every voter in this country to what's really happening behind the curtain. Don't let the media distract you with nonsense. This is the fight. Not pronouns. Not TikTok drama. Not celebrity gossip. This, the fight for affordable medicine, for small-town pharmacies, for a fair healthcare system, is the fight that matters. The time for silence is over. The time for action is now. Share this video, call your representatives, and tell them, we're not going to let corporate tyrants bankrupt our families and kill competition in this country. This is America. And in America, the people are supposed to run the show, not a bunch of suits on K Street.
That's exactly what's happening.
So, Mr. Scott, why don't we break you guys up? Can you agree? I mean, if you believe in competition, you just said a second ago, we need more competition, by golly. Well, let's do it.
And
Let's break up the PB. Let's pass a law that says PBMs cannot own pharmacies. You for that?
No, sir. And we've seen that competition grow in the last 5 years by 18% in the PBM market, by 9% in the last 2 years.
Wait a minute. You've seen the number of pharmacies grow in this country?
The number of PBMs, meaning it's a competitive marketplace.
It's not a
Independent
competitive market.
Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Every view means a lot. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, drop a comment to let me know your thoughts, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Your support keeps this channel going. Thank you, and bye for now.